Well, hello everyone. I'm Julia Royston of BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the author community, the book business bosses, helping you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, and be a book business boss. I am so excited to be on with you this afternoon, just for a few minutes. I'm going to really be talking about writing, sharing, and your purpose. You can hopefully see the replay. I'll be sharing that as well. Super excited of all that has happened this week on my newfound friend, YouTube Live, in that we celebrated National Library Week with the book fair and virtual summit. We've had an opportunity to, on Monday, we had the inspirational and devotional um, authors. And then on Tuesday, we had the poets and fiction writers. And then Wednesday, we talked about writing your own personal story, what you should share, what you shouldn't. When you get opportunity, feel free to go back and watch the replays of day one, two, three. And then day four, we were talking to the children's authors, the importance of having a children's book. And so I just wanted to thank you so much, those of you who are watching. If you have a question, feel free to put it in the comments section. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have in regards to writing, sharing your purpose, or promoting the publishing process. That's kind of what this Lunch and Learn is about. I always have something to talk about if there's not a question, but if you do have a question, feel free to join in and let's talk. Um, and feel free to do so. And I trust that something that I say will help you along your way. So let me share my screen with you. And so basically, what I wanted to talk about is writing, sharing, and your purpose, and having that purpose on paper, having that ability for the purpose to be down on paper, having that ability for others to hear your story, hear your heart, because there are times when you do have something to say. I always say that um, it's not that you are lost or that your voice is not being heard. It's that you just haven't activated your voice. Your voice is not being heard just because you haven't put it out there. So let's talk first. Where are you? Where are you physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially? Just taking a look at it. I love this graphic because it's got your head, but it also has your brain, but it also is talking about your thoughts, your ideas, and getting them down as well. So sometimes you have to take a step back and think about where you are, where you want to go. I do this often. I do this on a daily basis. I'm thinking about where I am, where my business is, where my life is, where my health is, uh, where my family is, and then where I want to go. Where are you? So if you've ever thought about, and during this time, especially during this pandemic, you may want to get your ideas down. Even if you're not ready to move forward fully with a book, you might want to get a pen to paper or your phone to record to get that down so that you know exactly what happened, how you felt, so that you can help somebody else. And success leaves clues, and I believe life leaves breadcrumbs for other people to follow and other people to find their way. So take a minute, take a second to evaluate, take a second to determine where you are. Um, and even if you're not willing, you say, "Oh, my finances are not in a place," but no matter where you are, you can at least write your thoughts down. You can at least write your, that's what diaries were. We loved that back in the day. And then going back and looking how we felt. And then sometimes we cried because we remembered how we felt. And sometimes we laughed because we remembered how we felt. And then sometimes we thought I did, because I used to keep a diary. I used to think about how silly I was. But I know that great books have been written just clearly from a diary, from our thoughts, feelings, and ideas that can be relatable to someone else. So, first off, write. So, take this opportunity to write. That doesn't cost anything to write something down. That doesn't cost anything to write down your experience that you're going through, the frustration. Writing for me, especially journaling, has been therapeutic. It has been a time and opportunity for me to get my feelings down on paper and to evaluate them and say it was like a cleansing of sorts. It was a way for me to woosah, to get them down and then realize, okay, yeah, that's how I feel right now, but how am I going to remedy that moving forward? So writing should be, for me, it's passion. But for me, also, it's purpose. It's just a part of what I do and my purpose, my business. It's what I do and what I really enjoy. It is second nature. The writing bug has bit me, and I can't let it go. So you may be like me, always writing. You just haven't pulled it out of there. You haven't gotten that notebook out and been willing to share it with anybody. But continue to write, and when the time is right, you'll be ready to go. So, writing from a place of passion, something that you love, writing from a place of purpose, and we'll talk about purpose a little bit later, but writing from a place of experience, what you're going through right now, what you're doing right now, what's happening, what's going on right now. The sun is shining out there right now, but there are a lot of people that are struggling financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically, fighting the virus. There are those that are the healthcare workers and the first responders, which we're thankful for and eternally grateful for. But there's a lot of experiences that are going on now that are horrific. There are a lot of experiences that are going on right now are wonderful. There are time for us to spend time with our children and help them with their homework and help them with their schoolwork and still be able to communicate in this digital space for in our family members and friends and people that we can't necessarily touch, but we can still stay in connection. So writing down what that experience of isolation feels like and what that experience of being able to connect in a new way, in a new world, a new normal. Some things may not ever return back to normal. So what does that feel like? So what is that like? And then so your experiences are really important and key to your well-being and mental and emotional health. But fourthly, thinking about your expertise. I'm outlining, just kind of a heads up, I'm outlining my own, whether anyone else is interested in it or not. I'm outlining my experience as a solopreneur. And you can do that too as well, because we may not be in the same industry. But I'm outlining my experience as a solopreneur and what that looked like and what that was like when I realized all of the events that I had planned and paid for were canceled. What happens now? Okay, so those things I thought about doing and I'm going to do later have to be done now. What does that my business look like now? And we may be in different industries, but I look forward to reading your experiences, and I hope you look forward to reading mine. So our expertise and what we found out and what we learned and the mistakes we made. I mean, just being here and YouTube live as opposed to Facebook live is another thing that's changed. They have made in Facebook decisions that affect me and impact me. There are more people on the digital space. So what does that look like? How does that affect me business wise? So I've got to carve out a new space. I can't just wring my hands and not do anything. I can't worry about, and I do have perfectionist issues, but I cannot worry about that. I've got to say, oh, that didn't work out. Oops, that was kind of embarrassing. Oops, I didn't like that, but I'm going to jump back on this horse and sign off this. Oh, it knocked me out. All right, I'm going to YouTube instead. Oh, I'm going to my Zoom space. Oh, I got to keep moving. So writing about your passion, your purpose, your experiences, your expertise. Because believe you me, there's another solopreneur having the same issue. There's another mother who's at home alone without a spouse, a single mother who's experiencing that same frustration of trying to reach out to a teacher in the virtual space as opposed to going in the classroom. There's somebody else who's trying to keep their business together. There's trying somebody else trying to keep their nonprofit going and their ministry going in this new space. So write about it, chronologize, journal about it, keep it down in front of you because it may bless and help somebody else. And then, of course, we have to be ready to share. Eventually, I wrote for many years my first book of poetry, but I didn't share it with anybody. It was my own personal, private space. I didn't let anybody in or anybody else see it. Okay. But I eventually had to share it and I had to be okay with sharing it. I had to be okay with spreading it around on social media and letting people know that that book was available or that music CD was available or that journal was available or the business was available or I was available. Sharing is a part of this whole process. Sharing is a part of life, period. And you can determine, fortunately, you get to determine what you do want to share and what you don't want to share. But if you're in business, there has to be some things that you do have to share. And hopefully you will write a book, you will open a business, you will have a nonprofit ministry that you're wanting to share and you're wanting to promote and you're wanting to tell others. And that's a part of it. That's just a part of the way that it has to be. Promotion is ongoing. Writing a book is ongoing. Publishing the book is can you get to a space and time. For promoting and sharing, that's ongoing. Getting in front of new audiences, new people, that's just ongoing, something that you do constantly. And then the last thing before I see if there's any questions, really tying into your purpose. I realize that, books and everything surrounding my publishing and writing and all that, I've been being infused in that since a child. I was a librarian for 30 years, but my mother used to take us to the public library and we would get bags of books. And I loved all of that. My dad was a teacher. My mother would read to us every night. And so this has all been kind of infused. So all things do work together for good. It all is working out. So it could be a part of passion, something you just love, you like. And it didn't matter if they didn't pay me to read books. They didn't pay me to evaluate books. It's just because I loved it. And I would share the books that I would read with other people. So a part of my purpose is things that I love, singing and all of that. I love all of it, and I continue to do it even into this day when asked. Your purpose should be tied to helping somebody else, whether that's for profit or nonprofit, because we have to. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So that's got to, and people do business with people they know, like, and trust. So you've got to make sure that you have that mindset too as well. And then your purpose can be tied to your life's work. Me, it's been since a child, reading and writing and all of that. And then, of course, a part of my purpose, even in my business, is 12 years old now. It's become more than a business. It's been an extension of myself as a person and a human being, a part of my character, and hopefully my integrity in what I do. And that people who come into my influence and come into my business, and they even ask whether they sign with me or not, they ask about it. I feel like I have a duty to, one, tell them the truth, but to ask how they are as a person, where they are they ready for the process that they're about to undergo, to ask those questions so they can make sound decisions. So it's more than business for me. It is ministry. It is a part of who I am as a person. So, really looking at that whole aspects of all of purpose. People, I don't know if I have a purpose. There is a reason why you were here. You just need to find it, define it, develop it, and display it. I have found my purpose. I know that this is a part of what I do. Whether I'll be doing all aspects of it the rest of my life, I don't know. There may be a season where I stop doing parts of it and do more of other parts of it. But I know that, like my family and ancestors before me, they did everything that they could do until they died. They did it all. They were all out 100% until they couldn't anymore. And when it was all said and done, it was over. So when they went to glory, that's when it was done. Um, Even though my dad retired from teaching, he didn't retire from life. He didn't retire from helping somebody else. He didn't retire from pointing somebody in the direction to help them to be a better person. So that's part of my purpose too as well. Let me stop sharing my screen really fast and see if anyone has any questions. Anybody's jumping in the room. Thank you for those of you that are still with me. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them and I will review them at another time. So, last screen. I got one more screen to share. And then I'm going to be out of your way. Three more screens to share, sorry. So, if you need help, if you're interested in talking about the publishing process and the book process, feel free to reach out to me, talkwithroyston.com. Email me at bkroystonpublishing@gmail.com. That's kind of my working email. That's where the work begins and the documents are transferred back and forth. And information is transferred. I have several other emails, but please, bkroystonpublishing@gmail.com is my main one. If you're interested in taking an independent study or self study course, feel free to go to bkroystonstore.com. There are 21 courses there to help you on your way. And when you're unable to be in a live course, I've already pre-recorded videos, audio, and ebooks and helpful handouts for you. But always feel free to schedule a time after you've taken a course or even before at talkwithroyston.com to discuss the BK Royston store. And then also I have upcoming classes. As you can imagine, I'm working from home. I'm teaching at night. I do have a writing class that's going on right now. So if you're interested in taking that, go to bkroystonpublishing.com classes. It is a 10-week course. We're going through the outline and you can catch up. We're only done with the first 3 weeks. So if you want to jump in and catch up, you can. bkroystonpublishing.com classes where we're talking about the outline, who the audience is, covers. We kind of go through the whole gamut so that you can be ready to make informed decisions about your book and the publishing process. Follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, BK Royston on YouTube. You're finding me here right now. And then I'm also on TikTok. And you're not going to catch me dancing, but the handle is Julia Royston there at TikTok with some helpful information and some up and coming ideas for you to also think about. So if you're on TikTok, follow me there. And two upcoming events that I'm hosting specifically, Empowered to Soar. It's a virtual summit, Saturday, April 25th at 12 noon. And I need for you to register so that you can be in the Zoom room. And those who register or have opportunity for giveaways, and the replays. So go to bit.ly/London Virtual Summit. For 2 years, Jenny Allen and I had plans to have a women's empowerment conference in London. We all had it planned out and it was a good thing. And then we had to cancel. So, but we're still going to meet April 25th at 12 noon, 5 p.m. London time if you're across the pond. And then on Tuesday, three of my great friends, I had their husbands on and business women finding the balance. We're going to talk about that on Tuesday on a special edition of Live Your Best Life. Feel free to join us on Facebook Live. I'm going to send that out to my email list for you to be able to join us and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok to find out more information that you can register for the Tuesday special panel on business women finding the balance. I had their husbands on earlier in the month, and now it's their turn. So I'm Julia Royston at BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the author community. The Book Business Boss is helping you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, be a book business boss, and lunch and learn. That's what I'm going to go do now. Have my lunch. Bye bye. Have a great day.